Let's find out. Uh-oh, I dropped my phone. Anybody pulling up? Anybody pulling up? Oh, I see Tasha. Tasha in the building. I see Tasha in the building. All right, all right. Y'all, hey, y'all tell it, share it with the cousins. They usually pull up on IG. Let them know I'm live on what's happening. Let them know I'm live on YouTube right now. All the cousins that usually pull up on IG. Let them know I'm live on YouTube. As always, the lunchtime lessons don't get saved. What's happening? uh, what's going on, Eric? The lunchtime lessons don't get saved. So tell the cousins that usually be on IG if they want to tap into the lunchtime lessons. Let them know that it don't get saved. Don't get saved. Okay, y'all. Somebody put a one in the chat. Somebody put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. I see a couple people tapping in. That's all great. That's all we need. All I need is one. All I need is one person to be here. You feel me? If I got one person in here, that's all I need. Yep, I see a one. I see a one. I see a one. There you go. I see ones popping in. There you go. All right. All I need is one person to be here. Yerp. All right. So what I'm doing for anybody that wasn't, I tapped in on IG real quick to let everybody know that I was going live. You know what I'm saying? I'm let them know one more time. I'm gonna jump on IG live one more time. Let them know that I'm live, and then we gonna get right into it. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna let them know one more time. We're gonna get into it. So for anybody that don't know what I'm doing, if you didn't see it on IG live, I didn't get a chance to trade this morning because my son was sick at school, and had to go pick him up. I had to go pick him up because they sent him home. He had to get him a new COVID test, so I couldn't trade because I had to go take him to get another COVID test. We took him Saturday and got one. Then we had to pick him up from school today. Had to go get him another one today. The one from Saturday was negative. Had to get him another day because he was ill today, so they sent him home. But and that's neither here nor there. But that's the reason why I couldn't trade. But for everybody that's tapping in on IG right now, I'm on YouTube live right now. I'm doing all my live videos and all my Tim's Tidbits on YouTube. So if you want to get this lunchtime lesson that I'm about to go over, tap in on YouTube right now. What I'm about to do, I'm about to break down. I looked at the charts after I got back from taking my son to get his COVID test. I looked at the charts for the day. I saw my setup. I saw where I would have tried to get in. I know exactly where I would have executed. It was my trade. It was my setup, but I wouldn't have got picked up. So I'm going to break down my exact setup again, the same one I've been breaking down, and I'm going to show you why I didn't get picked up, or I wouldn't have got picked up, and I'm going to show you what's not my setup. I can show you one that looks similar to mine and what's not mine. Yeah, today I'm eating grapes. So if you want to get this lunchtime lesson, come over to YouTube. I'm on there right now. youtube.com/the-new-TLR. It's just like my IG page, the new TLR. It's youtube.com/the-new-TLR. Pull up over there. That's what I'm gonna be doing all the Tim's Tidbits on Sundays and lunchtime lessons. When I tell you I'm going live on IG, that's where it's gonna be, over on YouTube. So y'all pull up over there now if you want to get the lunchtime lesson. Gone. Yep. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. As always, the lunchtime lessons don't get saved, but as you just heard, I didn't get a chance to trade today, but I went through the charts. I came in this morning and put lines on my charts, right, like I always do, right? Put lines on my charts like I always do, and I came back after I took my son, and I checked to see if I would have got a trade because I saw that it was running up. Last week, Friday, I like the price action. I took a momentum trade. I put on two small swing positions on SPY. I put on some real small positions on SPY. One of them in my main account, it was like I'm risking like I think it said 0.03%, 0.003% of the account. And then on my what used to be my old Tesla account, I'm risking like 2% of that account because it's a much smaller account. So I'm risking like 2% capital of that account. But so these real small positions, and that was just a momentum trade. And I looked at my phone and I saw that those trades was up. So I'm like, is the volume good? Y'all let me know if my volume good. If the volume good, somebody put a one in the chat if my volume good. Cause this a whole new setup. This a whole new vibe. Whole new vibe. You know what I'm saying? But so okay, I see the ones popping in. All right, so looking at those, I saw that the momentum was going to the upside. So I'm like, okay, that was a good momentum trade that I got into. Of course, as soon as I got settled in at the house, I locked in my profit on the momentum trade. So I'm already locked in. I got my target set for 100%, but I already locked in 10% on both of them. So I got 100% target set, and I got 10% profit locked in already. So if it decided want to come back on me tomorrow, come back on me later today, or come back on me whenever, I got 10% profit locked in. So I'm either gonna have 10% or more up to 100%. Because every day that it go on and it go higher and higher, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to keep moving my stop up. And eventually, the closer it get to 100%, I'm going to put in a trailing stop to save like 10%. But, 10% trailing stop. But anyway, let's get into where I saw my trade. And y'all excuse my smacking. I'm eating grapes today. I'm eating grapes. I like green grapes. Let's get into it. I'm going to switch my screen over, pull up Ninja Trader, and break down, you know what I'm saying, exactly what is what. What is what. Let's go camera and desktop. Boom. There you go, Tim. You cooking with Crisco, baby. All right. So, can everybody see my screen well? Can y'all see my screen? I hope y'all should be able to see my screen well because the YouTube vibe is on something else. Can y'all see my screen well? All right, dig it. When I came in this morning, these are areas that I marked, right? The red lines and the green lines. These are like my main areas that I'm marking, that I'm looking at. And why I'm looking at them areas, right? Go to the weekly, right? On a weekly level, if you look at my chart on a weekly level, right? I'm overall bullish on the week. Why am I bullish on the week? I'm bullish on the week because of the momentum that we had last week and the momentum we had Friday. You know what I'm saying? Based off how wild we was trading last week, the ups and downs, all the whipsaws. What's up? How you feel, son? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just coming in here too.
You good? All right, that's cool. You finished your work?
Yes, I did.
All right. How your throat feeling?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Headache?
It's still there.
You still got a headache? You been drinking water?
Yes, sir. I drank a bottle.
Okay.
So I drank a lot of water.
Make sure you drink water. Is it any of that Gatorade left in there that your mama had?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got some Gatorade yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Try to make sure you keep drinking Gatorade and what I do like if like the water start bugging me, I start like eating like grapes. You know what I'm saying? I start eating grapes because they got like kind of fluid in it, and then it like kind of make me full, and then so that the water don't just be sitting on my stomach heavy. So I eat grapes, then I can sip the water better.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. We back. So what was I saying? Oh, the momentum. The momentum from last week. If you look over here, let me hide these. Can you see these wicks with all my 12 o'clock lines? Yeah, you can see them wicks. Okay. So this was the week prior to last week, and this green candle right here is last week. I think they call this a hammer candle. I don't know. Somebody ask Zay. Zay know them candles, right? So I think they call this a hammer that was last week, right? But if you look at the momentum after we went down into the liquidity pool, we dipped into liquidity way back to, right, these weekly candles, right? So we dipped up under liquidity. We matched liquidity, well, right around July 23rd week. And then, but we took out liquidity all the way, you know what I'm saying? So we going all the way back to July sometime, like getting money, right? We killed October and we went all the way back to July as far as getting liquidity, right? So if you look at that rejection, that's heavy momentum to the upside. You know what I'm saying? Heavy momentum to the upside. And then the way Friday closed on a daily level, it was heavy momentum to the upside. So that put me in the mind frame of this week was going to be a bullish week. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the whipsawing, all of the rejection off liquidity. So I marked this high, since we was already above last week's high. I marked the prior week's high. That's my green line. That's my, in my mind, that's the target I'm wanting us to get to for this week. Because we already broke past last week's high. So, you know what I'm saying? That's my target in my mind. That's my, you know what I'm saying, my far out target for the week. That's what I want us to get to, right? And so that's why I mark that green line there, right? Dropping down to the daily. That now I'm bullish in my bias is bullish. So dropping down to the daily, right? I'm looking for areas that look like it may be a potential problem, right? So that's what these red lines are for. If you notice when we got here on this daily, we got a nice rejection off of that. That wick pretty nice. That's a nice rejection. So boom, I marked that high as an area to watch out for throughout the week, right? This daily right here. Look how strong that rejection was coming off of there. So boom, I marked that high as an area to watch out for throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? And that's when those the areas that I marked for my hourly level. I mean for my daily and my weekly. That's my bullish, my overall bullish goal is to get to here. So them swings that I put on Friday, right? What chart is that? This the ES. I'm looking at the ES. I always Spider Gang. Hashtag Spider Gang. You must be new here. Hashtag Spider Gang. I always look at the ES. Anytime you see me with a chart and I'm talking about it, it's the ES or the SPY. Because the ES and the SPY, they run like tick for tick. Hashtag Spider Gang. Somebody put that in the chat and let them know. But so I'm looking at those levels because this is my bullish target, and these are my points of concern of potential resistance. So on the intraday time frames, right? On the intraday time frames, if I'm trading on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, if we around these areas right here, if we hit in this area and trying to come back down for the temp, even though I'm bullish for the week, around this area here, I'll be looking for a temporary sale. Around this area here, on the other red line, I'll be looking for a temporary sale if it give me the setup, right? And this is my target right here for those swings that I put on Friday evening, right? So drop down to the hourly chart, right? Drop down to the hourly chart. Boom. We get to the hourly chart. See? So I put this line here. Why did I put that line here? Well, I'll explain it to you. I'm glad you asked me that. Why did I put that line there? Right? So on an hourly level, right? Looking back to the Asian session, right? That was the lowest swing low on the hourly session in the Asian session from Sunday night, right? And the next swing low was way down here at the New York session on Friday, right? Since I'm bullish, it's like I'm aware of this, but if it starts falling all the way down to there, I'm looking to go short off of this for a temporary intraday today. Now, let me say that again, right? Since this is the lowest swing low that we done had from all through the night, this is where I'm looking to go long from. But if we break this and come back to test it as if we're going to break down, this is where I'm going to start looking to go short from in the temporary time frame until it get back bullish and go all the way back up to my target. my bullish target, right? So this is the okay, I'm batting with the other team now because we ain't bullish on this day. You feel me, right? Um Learn on that high quality. Shout out Lex in the building, man. If y'all missed Lex live last night, y'all missed a gem. You feel me? Y'all missed a gem. But anyway, so right, that's why I marked this level right here, because that's the last swing low. That's the lowest swing low we got since last night. So I'm looking for them to run the stop losses up under this, and if they break through and they keep going down, this gonna be the area I'm looking to go short on for today. If we would have broke through and start heading down to this area, and if you don't understand why I say heading down to this area, because that was the last swing low they made before blasting off on Friday. So they was gonna either come back to fill this gap or come down to get some liquidity to bust back up to my target up there, the overall target up there. You see what I'm saying? But since they done took off, they looking like they collected enough juice overnight. You know what I'm saying? Look like they collected enough juice overnight because they consolidated here. And like I like to say, see, boom, they swimming in the pool, they swimming in the pool, they swimming in the pool. Once they break into the pool, right, boom, we done broke into the pool at 8 o'clock. They broke into the pool on the 8 o'clock calendar. So at 8 o'clock, they broke to the pool. What you want to do? You want to jump down. Boom, I jump down to my 15 minute. See what my 15 minute looking like. Right? Let's go here. Boom, here we go. 7:45 calendar. We broke on the 15 minute, we broke into it at 7:30. But I ain't up trading right there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't up trading right there. Right? You could be up trading right there, but let's see if it gave the setup right there. I ain't even look at that time because I ain't up trading. Right? So let's go down to the 2 minute at around 7:30. I ain't even look. I look like after the time I be trading, but let's just look at the 7:30 to see if it would have set up that early. Right? So first thing I do, I drop down to the 2 minute. You know what I'm saying? I drop down to the 2 minute first because for my back testing, it transpired on the 2 minute the most. Right? The 1 minute is the one that I would really love to get because it yields me a better risk to reward. The 3 minute is the last result. I rarely take it on the 3 minute because the risk to reward be more than what I want to give. So, all right, looking at the 7. All right, so what I'm looking for, the way I look at the setup, right? This is how I look into it. Right? Once it dip into the liquidity pool, right? Here we go. We dip into the liquidity pool right here at this time here. 7:16, right? We dip into the liquidity pool. Now we swimming, right? After we dip into the liquidity pool, here we go, we swimming. Once we dipped in, boom, we formed the swing high here. I'm looking for the swing high and the swing low to form after we dip into the liquidity pool that I marked. I don't care about swing highs and swing lows that form up here unless they coming back into liquidity. It's got to be in an area that I deemed as a liquidity pool for me to even start looking for my setup. If it's up here somewhere and I haven't deemed that there's a pool of liquidity up there, it can make a swing high and a swing low all day long till the cows come home. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. It dipped into the pool. We made a swing high there, right? We came over here. We got a swing low there. Right? So we break that. We break the swing high there that it made after it dipped in. The very next candle, it formed the gap right there. Boom, it formed the gap. And here we go. It's coming back down, right? And yeah, it set it up there. It set it up there. That's the setup. That's what I'm looking for here. And this one here, if I would have taken it on the 2 minute, boom, it would have took some heat, you know what I'm saying? But the stop loss would have been down here, up under this swing low. You see what I'm saying? So it wouldn't have got stopped out. It would have been a good trade to run up. So the swing high, so that would have worked out. But I didn't even look for that one. So I see one that would have worked out. The one I looked for during the time that I trade, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have worked out. And if you would have got into this, if this would have been your target right up here, this previous high, you would have had to wait until 9:12 before it hit your target. Yeah, 9:12 before it hit your target. If this previous high would have, you'd have to wait to 9:12 to get your full target. You know what I'm saying? Your stop loss would have been below the swing low. 9:12, you would have got your target. That would have worked out. But I ain't up trading that early. So let's go over to the time frame when I'm actually up trading, right? Which is after 9:30. So after 9:30, it's been swimming in this liquidity pool all day. And so over here at this 934 candle, even though it didn't break below it, it's coming back to it. So since we've been swimming this liquidity pool ever since 7 o'clock this morning, when it comes back to it, I'm still counting that. Especially if it wick back up off it. So I'm still counting that. So looking on the 2 minute, once we touch it, right? On the 2 minute, once we touch it, we going back up. Here go a swing high form there. Here go a swing low form there. And then once the swing high is broken, the very next candle, no fair value gap is formed. So then I'll drop to the 1 minute to see if it gave me my gap. It's got a lot of the steps, but it ain't got all the steps. So I'll drop to the 1 minute, boom. See if it's giving me my fair value gap. What time that was? What I said that was? 9 what? 9:30. Okay. So boom, here we go. After it touched the pool, don't worry about this swing high. After it touched the pool, right? And we break. Yep, we go up and we break and we form the swing high and we form the swing low. This is the swing high and the swing low we looking to get broke to get the fair value gap, right? It didn't give it to me there, but we still consolidating and we still coming off of this run, right? We still consolidating and coming off this run, right? So once we still in the same area, we still consolidating and coming off this run, and we get a strong move up like this right here. Because look at that, we formed this swing high and this swing low, but then we formed another swing high and another swing low. That's why I say we still coming off this run. So I'm still looking. Okay, I'm in here, I'm looking. And then once we break the swing high right here, you notice the very next candle gives me my gap. Now, this is why I say I wouldn't have got picked up. I wouldn't have got picked up, right? And because I'm looking to enter off the bottom of the gap, right? Or at the open of the order block. You see what I'm saying? Cause so once we come here, you see like we got a big block on the 1 minute. It's like a lot of candles here on the 1 minute, right? But it never came down to where I would be looking to get picked up at. So that's why I wouldn't have got picked up on this right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, this one back here, if I was trading earlier, and I just looked at that with y'all, that one was my trade, was my setup. I would have got picked up, and it would have been a profitable trade. But during the time that I trade, the setup worked out, you know what I'm saying? Because we stayed in it here. This would have been, you know what I'm saying? This would have been the ideal area for it to play out for me. But since we formed the new swing high and new swing low, you know what I'm saying, within this same move, like if we would have formed the swing high and we would have formed the swing high, swing low, and it took off, I wouldn't have cared about the next swing high and swing low. But since we formed the swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, and then broke, that's why I was still qualifying this as being my setup. But I just wouldn't have got picked up. Even though it was a successful trade, if you would have been trading it as taking it off the top of the gap, you would have been in the trade and gone. I traded for taking it either off the bottom of the gap or the open of the order block. So that's all I got for the breakdown of my setup. We see one that would have been successful, and we see one that I wouldn't have got picked up, but if you take it off the top of the gap, you would have got picked up. So are there any questions on what I be looking for my setup? My setup. Any questions? Any questions? No questions? Nobody care? Nobody care? Y'all just typing slow? All right, man. Ain't no questions. Guess everybody got it. I'm That was very clear breakdown. Thanks. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Everybody else got it real clear too. Mike said it was very clear. Anybody else got any questions or any comments? No question, no comment. No question, no comments. All right. Well, no question, no comments. I'm about I'm about to be out. All right. No question, no comments. I'm about to be out. Do you look for a setup once a week? Now I look for a setup every day. Once a week, I look for my weekly goal. Like at the beginning of the week, I look for my weekly goal. Yeah, I look for my setup. I look for my setup all the time. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I be trying to be I be trying to be helpful. I'm just a simple dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Watching and trying to learn. Yeah, we all watching and trying to learn. We all watching and trying to learn. That's why we're doing this right. We're doing it together. We watching and learning together. We watching and learn. What you trying to learn, Angela? We watching and trying to learn together. What exactly you trying to learn? What's happening?
Don't play with us, Timothy.
Man, you ain't talking about nothing, man.
Don't play with us, Timothy.
You ain't talking about nothing, man.
We on this side now. You about to build a door.
I see.
I'm about to work on the inside, Timothy.
How far y'all got on the other side?
I ain't touching.
Oh, you ain't mess with it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey, we should have dropped it down.
Yeah, dropped it down on follow the ground.
You said that. You said you seen fences like that.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna hit you right back.
Bet.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you say? Do the ICT setup only happen during normal market hours, or does it work in the London session? It'll work in the London session. It'll work in the London session. It worked better. It worked better when you got like the momentum of the algos trading. You know what I'm saying? Because it's based off of algorithmic trading. So when anytime the algo is trading, it'll work. So during the Asian, during the London, and during the New York, you know what I'm saying? And it worked better like when they not on the breaks, like on like the lunch break, you know what I'm saying, or like the slow period of it. It's like it worked better when the algos be trading. I don't know exactly what time the algos be trading on the London and the Asian, but I know the algos be trading in the morning on New York from like 9:30 until like 11:30, and then they come back in like in the afternoon, like 2 o'clock until close. Yeah, Lex already answered that. I'm answering stuff for nothing. What are you and Lex doing? Very helpful. I appreciate it. I'm just a regular dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, man. I appreciate that you find some gems in what I be saying. When you do the SPY, do you take at the money positions with same day expirations? I've been paper trading that, and yes, I do. Cause I used to suck as a day trader. I used to be, I ain't gonna say suck. I was hit or miss as a day trader. And since I've been paper trading this strategy right here, I've been doing real good. I've been like a regular Kiki profit sniper. He teaching Asian this week, Lex? Okay, that's what's up. Y'all need to tap into I can see the swing high, swing low working on seeing the gap now. Okay, if you're working on seeing the gap, the way I do it, right? Shout out to Boyd. I think Boyd will trade any gap that's on there. Boyd trade any gap. But the way I do it, let me show you how I trade the gap. I only trade the gap that come immediately after the swing high or swing low is broken, right? So let me come here. Like a gap, right? A gap is like a space where three consecutive candles are, but the first candle and the third candle don't share price, right? So let me get me some little Let me get me some little arrows here, right? So we gonna go to this candle right here. Boom. That candle there. Make these big so you can see them. Make sure y'all can see. If y'all can see them candles good, somebody put a 1 in the chat if you see them candles good. All right. So 1. Copy that candle there. I probably should have put down candles so I can mark the gap. Yeah, I'm gonna do down candles. Put that candle there, take that arrow off, and then I'm gonna go and get some down candles so I can have room to mark the gap. Down arrow. Boom. Now I'm gonna copy that. Down arrow. So, okay, so these are 3 consecutive candles, right? I can't remember who asked you that. Angela? Was it Angela? Who asked that about the gaps? Yeah, Angela. Right? So this candle right here with the first red arrow, that's 1 candle. The green arrow, that's 2 candles. And then the second red, that's 3 candles, right? And then if you look there, get a rectangle, candle, the first candle and the second candle, they don't share a price, right? The wicks of these 2 candles, they don't overlap, so they don't share a price. So that's a gap. You know what I'm saying? That's a gap. So with me, I only trade the gaps that happen immediately after the swing high is broken in my setup. You see what I'm saying? So like if my setup was if the liquidity pool is way down here and my setup, if the swing high got broke here and this is the gap I'm supposed to be trading because it came up, this candle here broke the high, right? So copy this, right? Boom. So this was the swing high coming off of my setup. And when this candle broke the high, cause it's like we touched the liquidity, right? We went up, made a swing high, made a swing low, made a swing high, right? And we came down, we bust out. You see what I'm saying? After we touched the liquidity. So after we touched the liquidity and we formed our swing highs and swing lows and bust out, that's when I'm looking for the fair value gap. Whatever candle bust out, the very next candle has to make the gap for me to trade it, right? Shout out my boy Boyd. Boyd is trade any gap, or he'll trade this gap, he'll trade that gap, he'll trade that gap. Boyd to trade any gap that come out. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a gap. The market gonna that's gap trading. It's just not the gaps that's a part of my setup on this reversal setup right here, right? So the reason why I wouldn't have got picked up here, because I'm trying to get picked up off the bottom of the gap or at the top of the block right here. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the top of the block or the bottom of the gap. It came in, touched the top of the gap, and took off. So I wouldn't have got picked up there. So that's a gap. This is a gap. 1, 2, 3 candles. So if the first candle and the third candle in a succession don't share price, meaning the price don't overlap with the wicks or the bodies, then that's a gap. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. After how much profit do you move your stop loss to profit? Oh, me? Oh, I move my stop loss quick. You feel me? Once I get up, like if I'm on a futures trade, once I get up, well, I got to do the math. What's 32 divided by 4? 9? Is that 9? Once I get up 9 points, I lock in 4. 8. Once I get up 8 points, I lock in 4. So once I get up 32 ticks, I lock in 16. Lex get up 10 points and lock in 1 tick. Hey, I'm saving profit at all costs, I promise you. So I get stopped out. I get stopped out and profit a lot. You know what I'm saying? I might be shooting myself in the foot, but hey, I take 4 points over, you know what I'm saying, a loss any day. Excuse me. I think Lex moved hers to like one tick after 10 points. I moved mine to 4 points after 8 points. But that's up to each individual. The risk tolerance up to each individual. Tim, how do you set up multiple chart layout on NinjaTrader? What you mean set up multiple? Oh, you talk about how I got them different windows up there like that? Just make a new chart. Make a new chart, and then inside that new chart, you add the what's the names to it. Let me see. New. Yeah, I'm still up there. New chart, and then when you go to new chart, select instrument. I'm gonna say ZB, and then add it, right. So this one here, change that to the ES. Hit the wrong thing. Remove that. I wasn't paying attention, and then go to let's say NQ, right? Then hit OK, and then you see how it pop up the window right there. Now I got all 3 of them in the same window, and then I just shrink it down to so I can just see a little piece. But that's how you do it. You just go in and add them. Just go in when you add a chart, you just add the instruments that you want in the chart, and then I got them stacked on top of each other. That's how I set it up to stack on top of each other. So I can, and then what I use that for, I just look at the hourly. I look at the hourly on all of them because they move in unison, and I be using that for like to see divergence. Like if just say the Dow be selling down and the NQ and the ES still going up, either the Dow lagging or the Dow leading. You know what I'm saying, and vice versa, because they usually all move in the same direction. So after the swing high, swing low, you look back for an imbalance and look for fair value gap when you want to come back down in the gap and take trade. Yes, but I don't look back for the imbalance. I look forward for the imbalance, right? So here, went into liquidity. Right over here, you got this little counter, this big red, green, boom, it hit the liquidity. And I say I'm qualifying that because that was my line of liquidity, and it's been swimming in there since 7 o'clock. So when it come back to that, I'm still counting that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still counting that, right? When it came, even though it didn't break deep, because it broke it deep down here. So that's why I'm still counting it when it came down to touch it. You see what I'm saying? So once we go there, we making this on the 1 minute time frame. If I go up, it's probably, let's go up to the 3 minute and see what them swing lows and swing highs look like. I know it's gonna be less. Okay, so boom. On the 3 minute, if you look on the 3 minute, right, we coming up. That's the first swing high. If you look at it on the 3 minute, it play out. Remember when I said I'm still counting that on the 1 minute because we still in that same move. Looking at it on the 3 minute, it show clearly we still in that same move. Hit the liquidity. You come up. This the first swing high. This the first swing low. Right? Boom. And then once you break it, this the first candle on the 3 minute that give you your gap right there. Boom. You see that? That's your fair value gap right there. And on the 3 minute, I still wouldn't have got picked up because where I'm coming from the top of the order block. Remember on the 1 minute, I said we had a bunch of lines, but on this one, we only got 3 candles. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from the top of the order block to get picked up or the bottom of the gap. That's where I'm looking to get picked up because the top of the order block is inside the gap. So I'm looking at the bottom of the gap or the top of the order block. If it come here and it start reversing, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make a decision. Do I want to take it off the top of the gap? If I take it off the top of the gap, I'm going to wait for it to go to the bottom. The top of the order block. I'm going to wait for it to go to the gap and then come back up. You see what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to take it there and take that heat. I'm either going to place my order here and wait for it to come. If it hit there and go and miss me, if it hit the top and miss me, or you can take it off the top of the gap. You know what I'm saying? And if you take it off top of the gap, you was good. You was going to get the thing. We had already established that. But I'm looking forward for imbalance. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking forward for the imbalance immediately after that's broken. So it's like once you go into the liquidity pool, swing high, swing low, is going up. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm looking forward for the imbalance to be made. You see what I'm saying? So at this candle, once this candle closed, did it make an imbalance? I'm not looking back over here. I'm just looking like right now. Did this just make an imbalance? If I'm explaining that right. Right? And that's the gap I'm looking to trade. We just look broke. We just broke a swing high right now, FYI. Oh, we did? Oh, man. Let me see what Lex talk about. Oh, yeah, we at my fight zone, Lex. I ain't messing with it. We at my fight zone. I'm sitting on my hands. See that red line right there? I marked that remember when I came on early, I was like, that's a fight zone. That's a fight zone. So I'm leaving that alone. I ain't even gonna mess with that. Even if I see my setup there, I ain't messing with it. Cause that's my fight zone. That's the zone. Remember I said if we got to this area, that's gonna be the area where I'm taking profit. That's my target for taking profit on my intraday for today. And that's gonna be a potential area that I may be looking to sell back down a little bit if it give me too much resistance. And then this next one up here was my profit target for the next day or whenever I was trading, or maybe an area to look to go short in the meantime, because it's an area that looked like it's gonna put up a fight. Where we at? I said that I like to take it when the candle that broke the high from formed the gap. Oh yeah. Oh, you like to take it when the one that broke the high formed the gap. Okay. I take it when the one right after the one that broke the high formed the gap. Either I'm getting first. Oh, your target of one tick. What would you look for? Stop loss before taking the trade. Or that depends on. Yeah, that's your personal risk reward. Like if you got a set amount of ticks or points, you know what I'm saying? That's up to you. If you want to trade it based off of the swing lows and swing highs, you want to get like your best entry possible to lower your risk. You want to get the best entry possible to lower your risk. Like, let me drop back down here. Let's go back. I'm gonna go to a 3 minute. Let's go to a 3 minute, right? Let's just say your set loss is 5 points. You got a 20 tick stop loss, 5 points. You only gonna risk 5 points on any trade, no matter what, right? So from let's just say 4425, and then the top of the gap was 4430. So that's a 5 point gap right there. So if your max loss is 5 points, you don't really want to be trying to take it at the top of the gap, because the bottom of the gap, if it come there, it's gonna stop you out. If you got 5 points max on this trade here, you really want to be shooting for the bottom of the gap, because your stop loss is 5 points max, right? If you trade it based off the swing highs and swing lows, you still want to get the best risk to reward you can. So you want to try to get on the lower time frames, because you're gonna put it below the previous swing low. You know what I'm saying? If you get in here, you're gonna put your stop loss down there. If you get in there, like if you get at the top of the gap, your stop loss gonna be down here. That's like from 18 up to 30. That's 12 points, right? If you get in here, that's from 25 down to 18. That's 7 points. So that's a better risk to reward. You see what I'm saying? That's how you. But everybody risk tolerance is different. You're welcome. I normally do 10 tick stop. After 15, I lock in 4 and let it run. That's what's up. Protect profit. My stop and target are different for every trade. Yep. See, she going based off of the trade. She ain't got like a set, you know what I'm saying, stop loss. She taking the risk to reward of the trade. And that's a good thing to do, because if you take the risk to reward of the trade, if you take something that's yielding the risk to reward that you want, it's like you're not taking unnecessary losses and unnecessary drawdown because you got a set, oh, I'm risking 5 points every time. No, don't risk 5 points every time, because, you know what I'm saying, you're risking 5 points, but the setup that you're looking at, it may be like a 8-point trade or a 9-point trade. Why you risking 5 points to get 9? That's not even a 2-to-1. You know what I'm saying? You might can risk 1 point to get 9 or 2 points to get 9 based off the setup. That's a good way to do it. Okay. All right, man. I don't see no more questions. I think that's it. I appreciate y'all for tapping in for this this lunchtime lesson. Hopefully I was able to help somebody. Oh, wait a minute. It's some more stuff? Oh man, I ain't see that. I'm sorry. Oh no, that's it. All right, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. I'm about to get off here. And like I say, these lunchtime lessons don't get saved. So if you ain't tap in, tell the cousin to tap in whenever I see them doing lunchtime lessons, because I don't save them. Anyway, appreciate y'all for tapping in.